every day they're recording this, and they use this big umbrellas, the drug users, to cover for you cannot see them on video. And of course it covers the sun. You can use it as emergency shelter. A large umbrella you can use as emergency. If you have a mattress like this, and then you can put a large umbrella cover your body. So I have some video called Living in a Box. I do in English and Danish. Living in a box could be a big wood box or paper box like this. That's from a refrigerator. This box is large from a refrigerator or fridge, they call it, fridge refrigerator. That's something like this. This have a large paper box. Nice, even you can sit sleeping inside. So actually I need to go to a shop selling a fridge, because some you can get even higher. They have some refrigerators even bigger. The luxuries, the stainless steel, they have some even bigger one. So they maybe have some large paper boxes I could get, I like to buy. Like $10 each, because I need it for video. I need the paper boxes like this. Actually this is very light. This box you can sleep inside. You can go inside, put the mattress and sleeping. But it's still very light, you can lift it only like one hand. You can lift it up. I'm not very strong, but it don't need to be paper, it's not good in the water. So you need to find something else, but not paper. You need to find some other materials, is cheap and not paper, but strong like this one. Cardboard, strong like cardboard. But I'm going to make a video about that later. So that's why I have this weird stuff. Paper boxes and weird big carry bags, because I'm going to try to make an emergency shelter, a tent bag for homeless. Tent bag for homeless. I'm thinking what to use. These pool noodles are very good because they're not breaking. This one very good because they're not breaking too. This one is a IKEA bag, that's super cheap. You can use bag like this and stuff like that, but I don't know where you buy this. Where you buy this materials. But let's continue. So we got to the Automotive Industry in France. That have dropped a lot, but maybe we don't have the number for last year. We are in September 2025, so that's a long time ago, 24. That's André Citroën. I like to read about him, maybe. So this car is soon 100 years old in a few years. 1935, that's in 7 years. So this car is more than 90 years old, and they're still driving. Many are still driving, because some have been collecting this. Oh, that's look very nice, but I think that's a concept. Look like a Megane, Citroën Megane, Renault Megane. Some microcars, but the future is electric cars. That's not, so we're going to read about, of course, the automotive industry in France. Of course, we have this large brands, the Peugeot, Citroën, Renault, but Renault is not part of Stellantis. Renault Group, Magnesia. So Stellantis and Renault is two different kind of groups. PSA group. So we're going to look at the automotive industry in France as our own subject, of course. And Germany, of course, Germany are famous for the automotive industry. I'm going to make a video about that, only that Germany looks the automotive industry in Germany, and read about all the famous German car brands. But I'm not going now. I only read about this Porsche 911, Ferrari, and all this Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and luxury brand. But maybe I think we have to read the Porsche 911. I think we need to read about it. We need to read about Porsche 911. That's a very classic car. That's a very famous. I have to read about Porsche, but that's the only Porsche I'm going to read about now. And the 911 Classic, we can read later. But that's very expensive. That's not a car for normal people. You cannot buy that. Of course, even they are 20 years old. They're super expensive, because many like to own a 911. What do we have in 911? This emergency. The emergency number is in the United States, I think that's 911 or 912, I not remember. 911. What is the emergency number? I think it is, if you call the police or ambulance, call 911. That's emergency phone number, yes, in the United States. 911, that's emergency phone numbers in Canada and United States. So that's emergency telephone numbers. 911. So why did it select? But that's like Porsche 911. So Porsche have same like 911. Now my Porsche is gone. So maybe I did close it by mistake. I think we should read about Porsche 911. We need to read about that. Let's open again. So we need to read about Porsche 911, of course, because that's a very famous car. Costs a lot of money, but my YouTube channel is not about expensive cars nobody can afford. Even this from the 70s cost a lot of money, I think. Even an old Porsche from 1980s. Like this 83. You cannot get this like $20,000. That's from the 90s. So even Porsche 911 before year 2000 cost a lot. That's from the 90s. Somebody collect this, the collectors as car collectors. So you're not getting any cheap water-cooled engines. But that's some other numbers, but there needs to be 911. So I don't know this number 911. But we have to look at this later. Now they go crazy outside. They have a lot of annoying sound today. But I have to continue because every day tomorrow is just some other noise. But late in the after 4 or 5 p.m. we don't have this annoying sounds because then they go home from work. Stop making noise in my backyard. So the automotive industry in Germany is super large, of course. The automotive industry in Germany is one of the largest employer in the country, like 860,000. Being home to the modern car, the automobile industry regarded to be one of the most competitive and innovative in the world. They have the 3rd highest car production in the world, and they're number seven worldwide. But these numbers are old. That's Germany is number 7, just below South Korea and Hyundai. But if we have a war in Europe, the car production will drop like 90%. That would really do some damage to the German economic. If we're going to have a large war in Europe with tens of thousands of drones and missiles, tens of thousands of drones from Russia all over Europe hitting automobile factories, all kind of industry, and in bridges, in hospitals and train stations, everything they can destroy like they do in Ukraine. Russia is every night they're doing 600, 700, 800. Last night was even 800 drones, 800 or 900 cheap drones with some like cheap two-strokes engines. They can do like tens of thousands of these cheap drones like this, like $10,000. They're much cheaper than this expensive missiles, cost many hundreds of thousands of dollars, even $1 million, this expensive missiles. And they can carry a lot of explosive bombs. These drones can carry like many kilos of bombs. So we're not going to have automobile industry in Germany if we're going to have this big war in Europe. So that's Germany, and they have this, that's old Mercedes. That's his Mercedes Benz. We're going to read about the history of Mercedes and all this. I have opened somewhere else. I have the Mercedes open. We're going to read about it. I had read it many years ago. Factories. That's a dealer. That's a big car dealers, like toy cars. So Mercedes is a very large brand. They have a lot of the A class, B, C, and E and S class, luxury class. So they make this S class luxury Mercedes, and the like S580 and 600 Pullman, and 500 is 580, and the Pullman. So that's a nice car. You can buy a car like this and use it as a classic car. You can own it's 500 from the 90s. You can use it as a classic car. Long property is very expensive to repair the engines. 4 generations, 99, but that's 30 years old in 3 years. You can have this long, I don't know if the Pullman you can get it's S600. This one you can get X600. And they call something called Pullman 2005. They have S550. Short wheelbase. Sixth generation. They have a long one. S400. S500. Short wheelbase. So they still make this car thing. 7th generation. They still make this nice cars, but I have this Danish disability pension, and I have no driver license, so I cannot really. And I'm sleeping on a broken bed, and I'm making video about cheap tent bags for homeless, because I'm afraid of being homeless myself. In the future, they have this S-guard. They have a guard that's bulletproof. You cannot buy that. They have S680 guard, but that's for ministers, premier ministers, presidents, and the government, because you cannot buy a bulletproof Mercedes like a private citizen, not in my Europe, I think. So that's special for use the government and all ministers, premier ministers, and they have this Pullman. No, they have even a Maybach. They have the Maybach. No, they have a extra more luxury than the S. They have the Maybach. The Mercedes Maybach, but now I cannot find this. Mercedes Maybach, but I cannot spell it. Maybach. Maybe, no, I cannot. Mercedes, not Benz, but Mercedes Maybach. This one, Mercedes Maybach. This Maybach, they have this Maybach. They do this, that's a luxury brand below Mercedes, I think. Mercedes Maybach. They make this Mercedes Maybach Pullman, I think. That's a Mercedes Maybach S650. 50, but that's for very rich people and rock stars and presidents. So you can get even more luxury. We have the Maybach 600, this one. What is this? That's the Mercedes S-Class. We have the Pullman. This one, Mercedes Maybach S680 Pullman. That's, I like to get a car for my YouTube channel like this one. Then Mongo TV YouTube. I do automobile industry, but that's not going to happen because I'm not going to get that Mercedes Maybach Pullman because I have no money. So I have to do my car video my own way, my Mongo TV way. Subscribe, Mongo TV. We love you, says Dennis. Now we have more annoying sounds. Now the temperature gets up, but it's like this every day. It's like this, 30 degrees, but everything is good. I'm not behind any bills. I pay off my debt. The last 10 years, my debt have dropped a lot. So now I have, soon I will have $1,000 every month. But that's $1,000 for food, pocket money, saving, everything, and then I'm living a very expensive country. And I cannot buy expensive cars. I only have $1,000 every month. But $1,000, that's enough to buy a lot of cheap food. That's like 7,000 Danish. I can buy a lot of butter. $1 is 7 Danish kroner. So there's a lot of food I can buy. A few $100 in Lidl. I can buy a lot of potatoes. Yes, I'll be back in 1 minute. I need to go 1 minute. So I'm back. So of course it could be nice to make video about this expensive Mercedes car. I have a lot of noise, but every day it's like this. So I think we have to wait for later in the evening because there's so much noise in my backyard today. But let's try finish Germany. Let's finish Germany. Then I can play a computer game some hours. Then we can record a bit more video later, like 5 p.m. After 4 or 5 p.m. it will be more quiet outside. All these annoying sounds. But it's very quiet in the evening, and night is very quiet, and in the weekend. And I don't have a lot of traffic noise. I don't have traffic noise. So now this is finished charging, I think. But I'll not continue now because there's too much noise and too hot. Because now the sun shines and then the temperature will get up to like 28 up 23rd. Now it's 27. And it will keep getting up to like 30. So like this, every day is like this, 30 degrees, and then it's super hot in my apartment and I cannot sleep when it's so hot. So I not sleep well many months. I've been sleep, I not do this last night, but tonight maybe I have to sleep below this one. Because being when it's 25, 26. So it's like this every day, like this. So that's why I not make any. I just playing computer game the last 1 month. I'm waiting for the weather to change. But the weather did not, it's just shining every day, like forever. I'm waiting for the weather change a lot to get much cooler. Because I'm not living in Scandinavia. I'm not living in Spain or South Europe. I'm living, and now it's September. It's autumn. So it's not supposed to be 30 degrees hot, but that's because of the climate change. The climate change, and that's something to do with the automobile industry too, because you have used a lot of oil. We have used a lot of oil to make petrol and diesel, and burning this billions of tons of oil every year in the atmosphere, in the earth. The carbon, all kind of bad stuff from oil when you're burning oil. When you're burning fossil fuel like coal and oil, that's polluting the atmosphere on the planet Earth. Makes it more hotter, so we have long heat waves. We have some really large in Spain, it's very hot, like